All right, guys, listen up. I want to talk about how much you should actually invest in your first product on Amazon or TikTok Shop or wherever it might be. Because I've seen too many people make this mistake, especially in the beginning, especially when first starting out, especially with people who maybe have a little bit bigger budgets than other people. So I want to walk through my exact thinking. If I had to do this all over again, what I would do with what budgets, what it looks like, everything like that. Okay, so it should be a quick one here. So please watch all the way through. That way you don't make these same mistakes that everybody else seems to be making. Not everybody, but I've just seen this too many times where I need to talk about it. So let's say, hypothetically, you come to me, you have $20,000. I know it's in the high range, but just an example here. You have $20,000 to start your Amazon FBA product, your product on TikTok, wherever you want to start it, right? To get that cash flow, to get the business going, to potentially build a brand down later, or just have some side income. Okay. So say you have $20,000. I would tell you, don't start with $20,000 with your product. Even if you have $20,000, even if you had $50,000, we want to start in the range between $4,000 to $8,000 at the highest. Okay. I've seen way too many people come in with bigger budgets and essentially just blow their whole budget, $20,000 on one product. That's just too risky, okay? The products that need $20,000 inventory are, products that could do $30,000, $50,000, $70,000 in revenue per month. Well, that's great, right? You're probably thinking I got a bigger budget, so let's go make more money. Well, the thing is, those people at the top, they know what they're doing. They have bigger marketing budgets. They have bigger budgets to reorder as well. Yes, you have the money to back this up, but you don't have the experience to compete with those people. So people come on, I've seen 30,000, I've seen 25,000, I've seen 40,000, I've even seen 100,000 where people just go in first try and try to shove a product that's too competitive, too mainstream, down the throats of people. And it's like, you don't have the skills to compete there. So we want to start in a range, even if you have $20,000, start with $5,000. Okay. That way you have more attempts at this, and those $5,000 budget products that do maybe 10, 15K a month, you can compete with that because it's kind of smaller potatoes. So those big companies, those big suppliers, just big Amazon sellers don't really care about those products too much, where you don't have to compete, cutthroat competition, price wars, everything like that. So even if you have a big budget, start with $5,000. Okay. So the range should be between, it could be as low as 3,000, the lowest. Again, you're going to have the less on that range, the slower it's going to take to get there, but you got to do what you have to do. Okay. 3,000 to say 8,000 here. So anytime you're like in that range, you should cut off like 8,000. There's no way I'm going over this because it just gets too risky, right? Even with products that maybe don't have high volume, but really high price points where you have to, pay $50 per item, I would tailor that back to, or get really low MOQs. So minimum order quantities. So you don't have to, pay $15,000 for, 300 units that cost, $50 or whatever it may be, right? Not sure if my math adds up there, but you get what I'm saying. Okay. Maybe it's a little less. MOQ's 100. Maybe your price point's not that bad. But essentially, the whole point I want to get across this video, and it's not gonna be a long one, I'm not gonna sit here and preach too much longer, but do not invest 20 to 30,000 on your first product. Don't invest 15,000 on your first product. Start lower, start with $5,000, $6,000, get your skills up. And if you have that budget to compete later, fine. That first product is going to be a learning block, right? And even if you say you have a mentor, say you get, really good with product research or whatever it may be, it's still a business. You're still going to have at best a 10, 20% chance that you fail because unforeseen things happen in business, unforeseen things happen in the market. Niches could die. Weird competition could happen. Your product quality, even if you get inspections, could not be there. So your star rating's not there. Or maybe you differentiated it in some way that you thought was great, but the customers don't actually want it. Okay. So there's all these things hopefully you're checking there, but there's still, even if you're elite, there's still a 10%, 20% chance that it still fails. Okay. So if we have 20K budget and you put 5K in and it fails because business is business and you just rolled the dice and crapped out, well, you still have 3 more goes at it to learn and get better. Or say the product takes off. Best case scenario, the product just goes gangbusters, does better than you thought. The market's growing for it. Well, then you have money to reinvest into that product, okay? To go bigger with that, to grow into the market. So I just want to prevent anybody who's thinking about getting their first product and blowing their whole budget on it to not do that, okay? Yeah, if you have 5,000 to 8,000 and it's your whole budget, you're going to be in that range, but you got to start somewhere, right? These are more for the people who are a little bit higher risk, 20,000, 30,000, and they're just blowing it all on one product and going all in. Dumbest thing you could possibly do. And I'm saying that from a perspective, I've done that, right? I think my biggest order was $300,000 into a product, and it didn't go well. And my regret, yeah, there's other things I could have prevented. Yeah, it could have been a great great year for us for that product, but essentially didn't go. And that was pretty much the rest of the money we had for that, and it didn't go well. After putting my eggs in one basket over and over and over again, I eventually crapped out. And I've done this on many other levels as well, but I crapped out. And when I did that, that's when that biggest lesson kind of occurred to me. It was like, I can't do that. Like I need, like, this is business. Yeah, I'm pretty decent at what I do, but there's always going to be risk involved. And if I keep rolling the dice, eventually I will crap out. And I did. So now I want to minimize risk as much as possible. And especially as a beginner, you want to start on the lower end, build the skills up. And if you have the budget later to go after more aggressive products, great. Now you know what you're walking into. Now you have the skills to build a good listing, advertise, how those other people are going to, compete, whether it's, depending on the market, could be more black hat and more cutthroat, or it just could be they have bigger budgets and they've done a really good job on their listings, their products, or they have more reviews in general because they're in a higher volume market, right? There's a lot of factors in that. So if you have a bigger budget, please do not go all in on your first product. Please restrain yourself. $3,000 to $8,000 max. Great. That product maxes out at those inventory levels. Cool. Get to the top spots, get to organic rankings, make it efficient, make it better, of course, over time, second, third order, read the reviews, read the returns, see what's going on, perfect that, get to the top 3 spots organically. And now you have something that's bringing in cash flow. It's a proven product that's going to grow over time as Amazon grows. And now if you want to be more aggressive after that, great, fine. I still don't recommend it, even the second product, to put $20,000, $30,000 in unless you've already proven that it works. So maybe if I had to be more on the risk adverse side, maybe again, second product, 5,000 to 10,000 range, and then you keep working your way up as like, okay, now I know exactly what I'm doing. This is a repeatable process. Now, if I want to go aggressively and go big, I can. But even that, just make sure you're not pushing all your eggs into one basket. Again, if you're just starting out, that's your whole budget. You have to essentially put all your eggs in one basket to give it a go. Make sure you're being very picky on your product selection. Make sure you're minimizing risk everywhere else to give yourself an 80% chance or so to succeed or have a chance. Of course, it's business. Anytime you roll the dice in business, you give it a go. There's always unforeseen things. So just know that. But essentially, you're kind of hamstrung there of like, you got to make it work. You got to figure it out. It's almost a better position because it's like, I need to make this work. Where the person with 20, 30,000 could be a little bit more lazy, thinking money will solve the issue, but it's just as much work to make that successful, $5,000 to $8,000 range as anything else, right? So they get a little bit lazy with that. So key point here is don't blow 20 to 30,000 on your first product. Even if it seems like a lot, there's always unforeseen things. Bring it back a little bit, get the skills up, as well as, minimize risk everywhere you possibly can. All right, guys, that's it. Just a quick rant today. Hopefully that was valuable in some way. Learn from my lessons, learn from other lessons that I've seen, clients and other people outside my sphere go through as well. Found this valuable? Of course, subscribe. Any other lessons, put them down in the comments below so other people can read them. Things to look out for as rookies, beginners, everything like that. All right, guys, that's it. See you in the next one.